Hello, welcome back to another episode of Tales of the SITBIT. Even though SITBIT was a failure, it really hasn't changed the way my mind works. I'm constantly thinking about new ideas, new concepts. That's just how my mind works over the past decades. And it's fun. It's fun to dream, right? At least for me, it never get old. And one of the recent thing that I came up with is an idea. Actually, I came up with this idea about maybe 5 years ago. For those that are getting older like me, when you start to hit your 40s, as well as having children or one child, and you start to go to the doctor's office, visit more often, all that stuff, you realize that one of the tasks that is annoying is filling out forms for every office, right? Every time you go to a new medical office, you have to fill out this 3-4 pages worth of information, medical history and disclaimer, this and that. It's all kind of paperwork that takes up 5, 10, 15 minutes of your time, and it's a hassle for me. I'm sure it's a hassle for you, and as you get older and you start to have to go to the doctor different doctors more often, you will see it. It's a pain. But there's a way to make that all easier. Let's say there's a software on your iPhone that you can enter in all of those information, all your medical history on your phone. And it's free, okay? It's free. So you can just download it and enter in everything there. Now on the enterprise side, it's my company. What I would do is I would sell the back-end software to all the medical offices that can link with the information in your phone, so that as a new patient, when you walk through the door, instead of wasting 15 minutes and being late for the appointments and all that stuff, you can just sync it and sign, and you are in. Your new patient are into the system. So the money, where the money is of course the enterprise, working with all the medical offices everywhere. That's one of my ideas. Okay, so I have been talking about this for the past 5 years, and as often with many ideas today. Okay, we are living in the technology age. So unless I can find programmers, a lot of programmers, is not an easy thing to carry out, right? So, but just to give you an idea of the kind of things that go inside my head, because every time I go into a medical office, whether it's for a new eye doctor, and I had to sit there and fill out all the forms, and it's tedious. I would just rather sync it, and it'd be nice if, and I can tell you, if you talk to most doctors and you tell them that there's a solution that will cost minimal, maybe 99 cents per patient, they can cut down the waste of time it took to lock in a new patient each time. Trust me, time is money for doctors and any medical field kind of business. So that's my idea. So today, let's go with a bad SITBIT. One of the earliest back issue of Spider-Man I bought was a semi-key, that, as I dive into buying, Bronze Age back issue of Spider-Man, I know this was one of the books that I wanted and needed. And I had high standard, okay? But there was time when I see something and the price was just too good, and I just had to jump on it. And sure, I still have the book today after many years, and it's an ugly book. I remember receiving it and just like, wow, yeah, it was cheap. I got a good deal, but damn, it's not a pretty looking book, and this is it right here. Check out my Spider-Man 121. Nice copy. You know, I would say this book is maybe an 8, maybe 8.5, at least an 8. But just look at how much miswrapped there is. Okay, look at how much. Oh my goodness. I remember, as soon as I bid on it and won it, I'm like, what the heck? Yeah, it was cheap, but damn, did you see that? What was I looking at? Look at how nice the back cover is. Okay, so it's a clean book. I liked it. I still keep it all these years as a reminder that, whenever, it's more as an example of how badly a book can be miswrapped, because whenever people talk about, oh, ugly miswrap, this and that, and like, I have one that is in a camp that is pretty ugly, and this is it right here. Okay, so that's a bad SITBIT moment. It might be cheap, but yeah, not pretty. Now, I rarely buy, non-superhero. I rarely buy non-Marvel or non-DC related books. Okay, it's not something that I collect. I don't really collect charlatan. Even in the 80s or 90s, it was just not something. Sure, I bought a few Pacific books, that is, Jack Kirby and Neil Adams, but overall, I'm pretty much a Marvel boy, a Marvel fanboy, Marvel zombie, whatever you want to call it. But there's one book that I wanted because I love the show. Huge fan from my first sight. Love at first sight. Okay, it was a show that I loved at first sight, and it was Star Trek. I don't know what it was, but I just remember seeing Star Trek for the first time on rerun after school, and I'm just like, wow. It's just like something that I have never seen before, and I just love everything about the show. So there's one book that I always wanted in my collection for years and years and years, but it has to be the right book, right? As picky as I am, I want something nice and cheap. Okay, not an easy combination to get, but finally something did pop up, and like a cheetah. Yeah, this is one of those SITBIT moments when I saw this book up for sale. It's a really sharp book. It's about an 8.0. Okay, beautiful book. There's just too many ticks on the spine to be high, but the book is just gorgeous. Okay, look at that. Look at the edge. Look at the corner. Look at that. Glossy, beautiful. There's just too many spine ticks for me to give it. Can it be an 8.5? Maybe, but being a strict grader that I am, I give it an 8. Okay, solid 8. But look at the back cover. Look at that. Okay, so yeah, when I saw this book, well, I wanted this book for a long time, and usually it's in pretty beat up condition, and the price was always too high, so it took a lot of patience over the years to wait for the right raw copy to show up, and then pounce on it like a cheetah. And there you go, a SITBIT moment that was worth it. Anyhow, that's it for this episode of Tales from the SITBIT. Tales of the SITBIT, Tales from the SITBIT, whatever. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Until the next episode. Bye-bye.